Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am somebody who loves thrillers, but I have noticed that recently I haven't really been reading very many, so I decided that now would be a good time to try and kind of cobble together a thriller TBR to get a couple off of my list. And one theme that can be found pretty commonly among thrillers is strangers. There are a lot of times in which there are aspects of strangers that factor into thrillers and the mystery that is going on there. So I have grabbed 3 books that have strangers in them in some form. The first one is The Prisoner by B.A. Harris. This is about our main character, Emily, who has been kidnapped from her bed with her billionaire husband and is now being held for ransom. Next up, I have The Reliable Wife by Robert Goolrick. And this takes place in 1907 when a man puts a article in the newspaper asking for a reliable wife and meets this random woman that he ends up marrying, and there is suspicions that maybe she is poisoning him or has poisoned people in the past. It does say that this has echoes of Wuthering Heights and Rebecca, which is both some very interesting, dark, spooky books, so I'm interested in getting into that. And the last one perfectly is Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. This is a book about a woman who is trying to escape from her abuser, I believe, and as she is leaving, she runs into another woman who is also, like, on the run, and so they decide to escape together, and the main character probably learns some pretty disturbing things about the stranger, I am assuming. I don't really know a lot outside of that. I am so excited to get into these, so much so that I have actually already started The Prisoner. I am a little bit less than a quarter of the way through. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it so far because we are still in a part of the book in which a lot is unknown and very questioned. It goes back and forth between Emily in the present day as she is locked in this dark room and back in the past when she is 18, 19 years old, living on the streets, and how she ends up meeting her billionaire husband. But it seems that in present times, she and her husband don't really like each other. It hasn't really been said why. There's been hints that maybe Emily betrayed him in some way. It's unknown, so I really need to read more before I can make any sort of decision about how I'm feeling about this. I was able to get this on audiobook though, so I am going to be doing a bunch of chores, and while I'm doing the chores, I will be listening to The Prisoner, and then I will check back in with you guys to let you know what I'm thinking about this. So I'm 70% of the way through The Prisoner, and I would have to say that this book is okay. It went from being like a normal book where there were like people who were doing things with questionable intentions to suddenly turning into a book in which a whole bunch of people were getting killed all of the time, which in and of itself is an exciting thing, but I don't really think that it works, because for me, in contemporary thrillers, when there is a character who starts murdering anybody else who questions them and inconveniences them, that kind of really pulls me out of it, because I know that no matter how many lies you tell, if you're somebody who is just going to kill somebody who inconveniences you, like, no matter what you do, like, people are gonna notice that and know that you killed them. So I always feel like it's weird because I'm like, you're definitely gonna get caught with the amount of people that you're killing. Like, it is so obvious. Like, unless you are a literal mob boss, like, I hate it when a character just starts murdering anybody that, like, contradicts them or, like, stands up against them and stuff like that, because it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't seem realistic. You're just asking to get arrested to me. I have about 80 pages left in it. I am excited because a considerable amount of the first part of this book was just the main character, Emily, being, like, locked in a room, which wasn't super exciting because you can only do so much with that, and so, like, it was okay. So I'm excited that now she isn't in there, so. But the weird thing is that even though there is about 80 pages left, I already feel like I'm at the end of the book. So the last 80 pages are going to feel like so unnecessary. Like, there is still one thing that is left unknown, but there's something about it that makes me feel like I am already at the end of the story and that we should be wrapping things up and I should be just about done. But no, I still have like 2.5 hours left of audiobook that I still need to listen to. I finished The Prisoner and I am going to be giving this book 2 stars. There was so much about this book that I just was not vibing with. Most of the time when I was reading this, I was kind of just like, what? No. And I don't know how to describe it outside of the fact that I just was not feeling this book at all. It was okay. The main character kind of confused me in ways because it seemed like she wasn't important, but she was, but she wasn't. I don't know. I just kind of was not super into this the whole entire time. Like I said, wasn't bad, but like wasn't good either. So with that, I'm kind of just gonna move on to my next one because I'm just done and over with The Prisoner. I think I'm going to start Not So Perfect Strangers because that's the one that is really interesting me right now. So I think that that's the one that I'm probably gonna pick up. Dresser for my room. Isn't this awesome? Now I finally have somewhere to put all of my clothes that I've been keeping in this laundry basket for the past like 3 or 4 months. I am 100 pages into Not So Perfect Strangers and I am really liking this book. So this book is a dual POV between a rich white woman named Maddie and a poor black woman named Tasha, and what happens is when leaving a hotel after finding out that her husband cheated on her, Maddie gets into Tasha's car and they kind of drive away and kind of become low-key friends. And because Tasha herself is dealing with an abusive husband, they kind of start talking and are starting to make this deal. This is kind of a strangers on a train trope, which means 2 strangers meeting in unlikely circumstances and agreeing to like kill the other person's significant other in order to try and like make it seem like it was a random thing. So that's what's happening right now, is they're kind of starting to talk about their ideas of how to kill the other person's husband because Maddie's husband is cheating on her and Tasha's husband is abusive. And at first I was kind of vibing with it, but not really with Maddie because I'm not as sympathetic to her cause because her husband is just cheating on her. Like, that isn't really like a murderable offense. It's shitty, yes, but not something to get murdered over. But the author just revealed something very interesting, crazy about Maddie. So now I am super into this and am just really hooked right in. I am so enjoying this and I cannot wait to get back into it and find out some more because I can only assume the craziest shit that's going to go down. I'm sitting outside and the goal right now is actually to tan my feet because I wear these slip-ons every single day, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm starting to get tan lines on my feet, and I don't like that, so I want to try and even them out while I'm reading my book. I am now 2/3 of the way through Not So Perfect Strangers, and I am continuing to really enjoy this. Things are starting to get ramped up. There are more dangerous things happening, I guess you can say. Maddie continues to be crazy. Oh my goodness, the things that are continuously revealed about her is just incredible, amazing. I think at this point I have figured out kind of like what the twist ending is, but only 2/3 of the way through. There's plenty of time for me to figure out something new to disprove that, or for whatever reason be wrong. But I have a pretty solid theory right now. But yeah, that's kind of all that I gotta say, is that I'm really enjoying this, and I think this might be a in-one-day book. It is currently like 3:30 right now, and I only have about 90 pages left in this, so I can definitely finish this today. Please excuse this massive zit that I have and my greasy ass hair. Maintenance is supposed to be coming and doing some work on my bathtub, and in order for them to do that, I'm not supposed to use it for like 2 days, which means that I'm gonna have to like wash my hair in the kitchen sink or something like that. But I was able to finish Not So Perfect Strangers last night, and I will be giving this book 4.5 stars. This was so good. I really enjoyed every minute of reading this. The characters were so interesting, and I never really knew what was going to happen next. I said that I predicted the twist. I didn't. I thought that I did, but I was red herringed. The author set it up very well. Because this is so good, I'm really interested in seeing what else the author has written. I think that she has dabbled a bit in true crime and writing under a different pen name, so I am interested in looking into what other things she might have published already. But besides that, I guess I could just jump into my last book.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want. Inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
To be exactly 100 pages in The Reliable Wife, and it's going pretty well, but also kind of slowly. So Ralph is a rich man who lives kind of in the middle of nowhere, and he has been lonely and by himself for the past 20 years, so he put an advertisement in the paper looking for a reliable wife and has come across Catherine, who has told him that she is someone who used to be a missionary with her father and is now answering his advertisement. While I'm liking it in general, something that kind of confused me is that Catherine sent a picture of somebody else when she like applied and stuff like that, and I don't really know why she did that, because there are a lot of things that she's lying about to Ralph right now. So to send a picture of somebody else seems a little bit strange, because then it's going to make him start saying like, what else are you lying about, right? it kind of gets you off on the wrong foot. So I'm not 100% why she did that. But there has been a bit of action in here so far, because right after Catherine arrived at the train station, there was a terrible storm. So while she and Ralph were kind of driving back to the house, there was an accident where Ralph suffered a horrible head injury, and Catherine had to kind of nurse him back to health. And he is kind of falling in love with her a little bit while she is remaining indifferent. And I don't know whether I want them to get together. Catherine is intending to murder Ralph for his money. Like, that was kind of the issue with her nursing him back to health, is she was like, shit, Ralph, you can't die yet. We haven't gotten married yet. You need to die later, not now. So, like, I feel bad because he's kind of starting to fall in love with her a little bit and, like, wants to create this romance between them, whereas she's fully indifferent and doesn't really want anything to do with it at all. And I think that it's kind of a little bit sweet, because while he does have, like, a lot of sexual attraction and mentions sex, like, quite a few times throughout this book, it doesn't fully feel creepy and predatory in the way that other male characters can feel when they desire female characters in books. Ralph, like, fully recognizes that Catherine wants nothing to do with him and gives him, or gives her a lot of physical space and respects her wishes and stuff like that, and is kind of trying to do other things to gain her favor and not really do anything sexual. It seems like his sexual desire is a reflection of just being a lonely, touch-starved human being. So I think that even though there is quite a bit of mention of him having sexual desires for Catherine and just women in general, it feels natural and correct and not, like, weird and creepy. Like, I'm not worried that he's gonna do anything to Catherine at all. I fully feel like he respects her and her choices and her autonomy and stuff like that. But something that Ralph has just mentioned is that he kind of wants Catherine to go to Chicago and find his estranged son that he hasn't seen for the past 14 years. So I think that that is a interesting request to make of your new wife, and that will be a adventure, and I'm interested to see where that goes. So I guess I will keep reading and check in with you guys later about what happens with that. Real quick, there's something that I did forget to mention. We do have a scene in which Ralph sits Catherine down and says, all right, here's kind of everything of significance that's ever happened to me from birth until, like, right now. And when I first read that, I was kind of disappointed and like, oh, we're not gonna get, like, a gradual backstory reveal. That's kind of disappointing. But now that I've been thinking about it a little bit, I'm like, you know what? King. We stand this type of communication. This is what we've been, like, screaming for all of our characters to do, is to be, like, super straightforward with each other. And so, like, yes, I am loving it. Awesome. Ralph may be extremely horny, but he is the most honest and straightforward character that I've met in literary history. I am so frustrated. I was told that Mania was supposed to come this week in order to fix my bathtub, and I was also told that I wasn't allowed to use my shower for 48 hours before. So, because they didn't tell me what day they were supposed to come, on Sunday I sent them an email, never received one back. Today is Wednesday. So my friend was nice enough to say that I could come over and use her shower, but before I left, I was like, let me go over to the leasing office and ask them, like, what the fuck is going on? What day are they supposed to be coming? Turns out they never even made a maintenance appointment for anybody to come to my place and fix it. So they finally made that appointment. They're gonna be coming Friday. Also turns out I can use my shower before they do any work on it. I'm just not allowed to use it for 48 hours after I hate this place. This place is terrible. I cannot wait to leave. In reading terms, I am 2/3 of the way through A Reliable Wife, and I am passively liking this. Like, it's okay, but there are also plenty of things that I am not super into. The main thing being that there have been a couple of reveals, but every single character has been so blasé about each reveal that it feels like these reveals are not a big deal. Like, Ralph's son revealed something very significant about Ralph, and Catherine literally does not give a shit at all. There were a couple other things that were also revealed that characters didn't care about, so it feels like if the characters don't care about very significant things like murder, like, why should I? Either way, there's only 90 pages left in this book, so I should be able to get through it very quickly and come back to you guys with a final review of this book. So I finished A Reliable Wife, and I'm gonna be giving this book 2 stars. The last third of this book was so slow and so boring. Holy crap, like nothing happened in the ending of this book. I didn't understand what was going on with the characters at this point, especially because they kept on switching motivations back and forth, especially Catherine. She kept on flip-flopping back and forth between being like, should I kill Ralph? Should I not kill Ralph? But like, not in a way that like really made sense with her character. It's not like she was like struggling with morality or anything like that. She just kept on like flipping back and forth between them at any time a minor inconvenience kind of showed up. So although this book kind of started out good, it ended not so well. So that's kind of the end of the vlog. I read 3 books, 2 of them didn't really like as much, but one of them I did have a great time reading. So with that, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, but besides that, make sure to stay safe and have a fantastic day. Bye.